Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're focusing on library electronic resources, the digital collections that let our communities read, watch, listen, and learn from anywhere. These resources have revolutionized how libraries serve their communities, and they've been part of our world for over 50 years, steadily growing in functionality, variety, and complexity. That long arc matters. It explains why our services look the way they do today and why digital access is central to library strategy. So, what are library electronic resources? Think ebooks, full text articles, and streaming media, digital information sources we license or provide to patrons. They've also transformed operations, more public computers, more remote access, and a lasting shift in acquisitions away from purely print workflows. In short, these resources are now baked into how a modern library works. Three big attributes define the value: digital access around the clock through authentication systems, diverse formats like text, audio, video, and interactive multimedia, and remote capability. So, as long as a patron has an internet connection and the right credentials, they can use the collection from anywhere. Keep those three in mind. We'll come back to them throughout. Libraries maintain a range of electronic resources to meet different needs. Each type serves a distinct purpose while improving accessibility and usability. On your slides, we'll concentrate on four: periodical databases, electronic books, digital video collections, and electronic reference tools. As we move through each, listen for how they support searching, how they're accessed, and how patrons typically use them. Periodical databases were among the first electronic reference tools. Initially, they provided article citations and keyword searching. Over time, abstracts and full text links were added, turning them into a true one stop shopping experience for articles. That means a user can search, evaluate, and access the article in a single place, whether they're in the library or off campus. How does access work? There are several paths. Libraries may subscribe to individual full text online periodicals and link them in catalogs or serials lists. Full text articles may be included within the databases themselves via publisher vendor agreements. Some journals are open access at no cost, and publisher journal collections can be licensed at a single subscription price. Major providers you'll recognize include EBSCO, Gale, and ProQuest, covering a broad spread of disciplines. Ebooks are a different reading experience, not just a PDF of a print book. They're available as web-based resources or downloadable files for phones, tablets, and e-readers. You'll see familiar features like bookmarking, adjustable text size, full text search, and in many collections, audio versions for improved accessibility. To protect titles, vendors apply digital rights management, DRM, technical controls that limit copying and printing to comply with copyright. From a user's perspective, the access options are straightforward: read on the web or download to a device. From a teaching perspective, it's helpful to show learners how to find the permalink, adjust text size, and use search inside the book to jump to relevant sections. Those small demonstrations lower the barrier to adoption. On the acquisition side, libraries often use patron-driven acquisition, PDA, also called demand-driven acquisition, DDA, to match spending to real needs. Many potential titles are exposed in the catalog, and a purchase is triggered by actual use. That approach lets the community's interests guide which ebooks become part of the permanent collection. Digital video collections deliver films, documentaries, and course-relevant content via streaming services like Canopy and Alexander Street Press. In some cases, libraries also digitize physical media and stream it for online course reserves when copyright exemptions apply. The impact for learners is big. Assigned viewing becomes accessible wherever they are. Electronic reference collections include digitized and born digital almanacs, dictionaries, encyclopedias, and specialized sources. Their strengths are improved search, frequent updates, and multimedia that clarifies complex topics. Equally important, they free up physical space and allow simultaneous access so multiple learners can consult the same source at once, a real advantage during high-demand assignments. Electronic collections come with unique challenges. First, licensing and authentication. Only authorized patrons can use licensed resources, so libraries implement proxy servers and IP address ranges and manage simultaneous user limits where applicable. Second, technology requirements. Patrons need sufficient internet bandwidth, adequate device memory and processing power, and a compatible browser to access platforms smoothly. Third, cost considerations. Subscription costs rise over time, staff effort is needed to keep systems running, and many institutions join consortia to share costs and improve coverage. When you present these issues, it helps to frame them as part of responsible stewardship. Protecting licensed content, maintaining reliable access, and making strategic budget choices that benefit the whole community. Inside the library or on campus, IP ranges often allow seamless access, no individual login required. That makes discovery and use feel natural on library machines. For off campus use, many libraries rely on proxy servers to authenticate patrons who log in from home or another location. And on the back end, teams perform regular database updates of valid users so that only current patrons retain access, keeping us in compliance with license terms. As you explain this to learners, connect the dots. The difference between it worked on campus and I see a paywall at home is often authentication. Show them where to start, from the library site or a proxy link, so they get through smoothly. Alright, let's talk about one of the most important parts of using library e-resources, actually finding what you need. Imagine you've searched in one database, but all you get is the article title and abstract. That's where the Find It or Get Full Text button comes in. Behind the scenes, the system checks whether our library has access through another database or publisher. If we do, it routes you there. If we don't, it may offer you options like interlibrary loan. This process is powered by something called a link resolver, but you can think of it as a GPS that directs you to the best available copy. On top of that, many libraries now have what's called a discovery layer. This is the single search box on the library website that pulls results from the catalog, article databases, ebooks, and even some vetted web resources all at once. It's perfect if you're just starting a project and you don't know where to begin. You can see articles, books, and videos side by side and quickly decide what's most useful. There's also something called federated search. That's when one search goes out to multiple databases simultaneously and brings results back into one combined list. This is helpful for broad searches, but the results can feel overwhelming because they mix so many sources together. The trick is to use it early in your research to map the territory, then move into a specific database once you know where the richest sources are. The big idea here is that libraries are doing a lot of heavy lifting to integrate these systems, so you can focus less on where to search and more on what to search for. Now, having access is one thing, knowing how to use these tools is another. That's where training comes in. For librarians and staff, it means digging into the details of each platform so we can help troubleshoot and teach effectively. For students, the goal is confidence. We don't expect you to become experts overnight, but a little practice goes a long way. Libraries offer formal workshops, one-on-one help, and increasingly short online tutorials that you can replay whenever you get stuck. These bite-sized lessons are great because they show you exactly what button to click or what box to check without overwhelming you. If you only remember a few skills, make them these: how to get from a citation to the full text, how to grab a permalink instead of copy-pasting a broken URL, and how to export citations into your preferred reference manager. These are small steps that save you a lot of headaches when deadlines are close. So think of training not as extra work, but as a way of unlocking the full potential of what your library already provides. Let's pause and appreciate why libraries invest so heavily in electronic resources. First, they make searching faster. Interfaces look and feel like the web tools you already use, so the learning curve is short. Second, multiple people can access the same resource at the same time, even if you're all off campus. That's a game changer compared to one copy of a print book sitting on a shelf. Electronic resources also save space in the building and ensure you're always working with current information. No waiting for the next print edition. Updates roll out automatically. And finally, integration is the real superpower. Because these tools pull together different resource types, you get a more complete and balanced view of a topic in less time. Think of a group project where three people all need the same ebook, or an online class where everyone streams the same documentary without having to check out DVDs. That's what makes electronic resources so valuable in everyday academic life. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. There are some realities you should know. The biggest difference from print is ownership. When the library buys a print book, we own it. When we license an electronic resource, we're essentially renting access under specific terms. That means sharing is restricted, and we can't always lend ebooks through interlibrary loan the way we do with print. Reliability is another factor. Sometimes the issue is local, like a slow network. Other times, it's on the vendor side if their servers go down or they switch platforms. And stability can shift over time. A journal that's in one subscription package today might disappear from that package next year. Vendors also update their platforms, and that can change how content is displayed or accessed. These challenges don't mean e resources aren't worth it, they absolutely are. But they do remind us that libraries need strong partnerships, smart licensing, and constant communication with vendors to keep access steady for you. The main message I want you to remember is this: electronic resources are the present and the future of library collections. With a little awareness of how they work and a few habits like using the library search box, grabbing permalinks, and asking for help when needed, you'll be able to navigate them smoothly and confidently.